Startup ideas can easily consume years of your life. This is time you're never going to get back, which is why you need to ensure that your idea is worth pursuing before investing lots of time, money, or effort into it. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use a simple 5-minute test you can use to check the viability of any idea. Hi there, if you're new to this channel, my name is Ash Maurya. I'm an entrepreneur and author and the creator of the one-page business modeling tool, Lean Canvas. On this channel, I share systematic strategies for starting and growing a business. Let me start by sharing what we're not going to do. We're not going to build a fictional hockey stick forecast using an Excel magic spreadsheet. The problem with using these spreadsheets is that they are built on too many unknowable numbers that quietly mask your riskiest assumptions in layers of innocent lies that compound on each other. We're also not going to rely on a top-down sizing model. This is where you try and justify an idea simply by attaching it to a large enough market. The logic goes that if you can capture just 1% of this market, you'll be all set. After all, 1% of a billion-dollar market is still a lot of zeros. The problem with this approach is that it doesn't address how you're going to get to that 1% market share with your given product. What we are going to do instead is build a bottom-up model using a simple back-of-the-envelope estimation technique devised by physicist Enrico Fermi. Enrico Fermi was an Italian physicist famous for making rapid order of magnitude estimations with seemingly little data. He worked on the Manhattan Project developing the atomic bomb, and if you've seen the Oscar-winning movie Oppenheimer, he's featured in it. He's the one taking bets from his fellow physicists when the bomb is tested at the Trinity site to see whose estimate of the blast power comes closest. Yes, of course he wins, but he does this by dropping a few pieces of paper during the blast and measuring the distance they traveled as they fell to the ground. Now, even if you've never heard of Fermi estimation, if you've ever played this game of guessing the number of jelly beans in a jar, this is a Fermi problem. As emptying the jar is not an option, a better approach would be to estimate the jar's height and radius and then doing some volume calculations in your head to arrive at a number. To make this video more practical, let's pretend I have a $100 product targeted at SaaS companies. I already have 30 customers ready to pay now and dozens more in the pipeline. I think I can get hundreds of customers over the next 6 months and then raise a seed round. Is this idea worth pursuing? This might look like a promising idea with early traction, but let's work through the numbers using Fermi estimation. The first step to stress testing viability is estimating your idea's ballpark goal. This quote sums up why. If you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. In other words, you need to draw a line in the sand with a goal before you can test the viability of your idea. Now, the mistake a lot of people make with goal setting is trying to estimate their idea's maximum upside potential. Getting to an exit or an IPO often takes at least 5 to 7 years, making it a hard, if not impossible, milestone to estimate because it is too far out in the future. All startup ideas are enveloped in a thick fog of uncertainty in the early stages. This is precisely why, instead of estimating your idea's maximum upside potential, I recommend estimating your idea's minimum success criteria. The minimum success criteria is the smallest outcome that would deem your project a success 3 years from now. Why 3 years? First, because 3 years is a lot easier to visualize than 5 years. Second, 3 years is roughly how long it takes an average product to get past the valley of death and hit product market fit, making it a good time box to set yourself up for. And finally, 3 years still represents a significant enough time investment. And so if you were going to invest 3 years of your life on any idea, what would be the smallest outcome that would make it worthwhile? Now, you don't need to overthink this step. It helps to measure outcomes as annual revenue and limit the choices to Fermi-style order of magnitude values. When we do that, the possible choices shrink to only 4 possible outcomes. You can either aim to build a 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure, or 9-figure business in the first 3 years. Which one do you pick? There is no right or wrong answer here, but you should have an answer because, as you'll see shortly, this is one of the critical inputs that's going to shape your idea. For our example idea, since we intend on raising seed funding, this puts us at a level 3 minimum success criteria. The next step is customer sizing. Here we estimate ARPA, or how much revenue you expect to make per customer in a given year. To do that, yes, you need some ballpark pricing for your product, and while you may not have sorted out exact pricing, you should still be able to come up with a Fermi estimate for your pricing model. Do you expect your customers to pay you $10, $100, $1,000, $10,000, or $100,000 per year? In my example, I already had a pricing model of $100 a month. That's equivalent to $1,200 over the year, which is still closer to $1,000 than $10,000, so that's what we'll use at this step. The final step is market sizing. This is where we test whether your target market is big enough to support your goal. For my idea, as you can see from this visual, in order to build a $10 million ARR business at $100 a month, I will need 10,000 customers. But we need leads to create customers, and no funnel converts at 100%. And so the last input we need to estimate is the conversion rate from leads to customers. If we stick with Fermi values, the only realistic option is 1%. While this number may seem low to you, a 1% conversion rate is fairly accurate for a $100 SaaS product. In fact, according to data from Salesforce, a 1% conversion rate is also fairly accurate to use for a B2B, B2C, or e-commerce product at scale. This means that in order to get one customer, I will need 100 leads. So in order to get 10,000 customers, I will need 1,000,000 leads. Is this realistic? A quick Google search reveals that there are only 30,000 active SaaS companies in the world today. We're off by 2 orders of magnitude here. And so even if you were wondering whether using a 3, 5, or 10% conversion rate would have made a difference, it wouldn't have. This idea is a non-starter given my goal. Now, it would be quite depressing to end the video here, so let's see what we can do to fix the model. Because a Fermi estimate uses order of magnitude estimations, when a model breaks like it just did, the way you fix it is by searching for one or more 10x levers. Here are some possible ways to do that. Raise pricing. This is one of the most underutilized growth levers. Could we 10x pricing and charge $1,000 instead of $100 a month? What would we need to do to the product to justify this 10x pricing? If step 1 doesn't get us there, could we target a bigger problem that is worth $1,000 or $10,000 to a SaaS company? We could also consider pivoting to a different customer segment. While there were only 30,000 active SaaS companies, there are millions of e-commerce and SMB companies out there. Finally, if you can't find a single 10x growth lever to pull, you can often find a combination of 2, 3x levers to get you there. Even though Fermi estimates are rough estimates, they're highly effective at quickly invalidating non-starter ideas, as we just saw. And because they are built on just a handful of inputs, when a model doesn't work, you often know why and also how to fix it. Now, once you have a business model that passes the viability test, the next step is turning it into a traction roadmap, which charts your 3-year minimum success criteria on a timeline that you can use to start validating your idea. I'll link some resources for that down in the description below. If you enjoy this video, I've got lots more techniques like this one coming. Please subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.